warrior with the hands. That's what I'm all about. Hunger in my eyes, vengeance in my mouth. They don't want no altercation. Situation gon' get critical. It's best that you be easy. The end gon' be biblical. Look, flow like a river. It's something like a miracle. Royalty in my veins, loyalty in my ways. Pay back in every breath, plus revenge in my heart. The truth in every word. Bring light into the dark, and I ain't never lukewarm. Shit, I blazing in the season. Got plenty food for thought. Just gotta watch who I'm feeding. Now been walking with them angels, so I guess I got this pistol for like sex. No, dumb dogs all barked out. Behind me say our cups roll hard, but I intend to stay. And if it ain't U.P.K, then they in the way. My niggas righteous, they real, they down to suffer. Flow so deep, to drown a motherfucker. He say he in the truth, oh yeah? Well, this the home. And I don't hate them brothers, I'm just too loyal to my own. Plus what they believe, hard for me to follow. No rank me, no head. And I ain't leaving this body to live and sleep in hollow. So when they ask I'm U.P.K, you tell them absolutely. And I ain't tripping my ways for nothing. Gotta in they bed. They so smart, and Alana, she so beautiful, but they ain't like other babies, and they daddy far from usual. Now I'm missing cause I'm about my father's business. It ain't about this shit I used to do in that 98 Navy, the tan leather seats. See, without wisdom, this world make you weak. I found out that the truth was bitter, the lies are sweet. Tried everything, I guess me and YAHANNA had to meet. Now I make the blind see, and I make the dead speak, and teach both my little girls the day that they lie with a man, they better bring me bloody bed sheets. Chaos match the time, this Glock match my handpiece, and I ain't trying to take him out, but I will defend this house. Or take a check, 144 in that black trench on some hitman shit. Should call me 47. Praying for Armageddon. Me and my soldiers dressed for the wedding. Fuck the fame. Ask why, tell them I'm Lord to the King. Until the righteous reign. Lord to the King. I want that straight lane to break the chain. Lord to the King. The devils can't have me, bitch. I'm Lord to the King. That's right. Bring that hot flame, U.P.K. Lord to the King. Until the righteous reign. Lord to the King. I want that straight lane to break the chain. Lord to the King. The devils can't have me, bitch. I'm Lord to the King. Bring that hot flame, U.P.K. Lord to the King.
You understand? And you found a new breed of Hebrews that stand and walk with the Lord's commandments of the Most High. And we don't care who we got to come up against. You ain't standing before this truth. You understand? We done took them all on and gonna continue to take them all on.
Surrounded by Edomites, lost a lot of truth to this tree of life. Open up the book just to see I'm right. Reminiscing on my ancestors, on those ships who had to plead for life. Took us to a place where ain't never safe there. Poisoning our foods and put our children up in daycare. Fresh out of slavery, still thinking that they care. Guns in the community, children can't play there. Brothers still brainwashed, we died for that same cause. Took away our history, believing that we ain't lost. Brother, I'm an Israelite, sin is like kryptonite. Brothers won't pray, no, the robber link a chick tonight. Praises to the Most High, I ain't like most guys. Eyes on the future, but I learned from a boat ride. Tribe of Benjamin, inherited on both sides. Background Jamaica, mistreated and I know why. I'm an Israelite, die from the Israelites. Blood of the Israelites, cry from the Israelites. Going through it cause we're Israelites. Kwam Yashra Allah to all my Israelites. I'm an Israelite, die from the Israelites. Blood of the Israelites, cry from the Israelites. Going through it because we're Israelites. Kwam Yashra Allah to all my Israelites.
Never dying on my knees like no coward. Wanna be an Israelite, you gon' need more than fringes. You gon' need to show you approve and get in them scriptures. Oh, I forgot to mention, traumatized from the lynching. Homicide, we the victim, I'm starting the ending. Kids with PTSD, suffering symptoms, never getting treatment. Something he gotta sleep with. Stockholm syndrome so long, it ain't a secret. That's why I die for them brothers I'm facing east with. Cause I'm an Israelite. Crackers better get it right. Visions of my enemies, death flow through my dreams at night. If your mind ain't there, then we don't dream alike. Reporting live from hell, home of Christians and Edomites.
I'm an Israelite, die for my Israelites. Blood of the Israelites, cry for my Israelites. Going through it cause we're Israelites. Kwam Yashra Allah to all my Israelites. I'm an Israelite, die for my Israelites. Blood of the Israelites, cry for my Israelites. Going through it cause we're Israelites. Kwam Yashra Allah to all my Israelites.
While they play the sidelines, comfortable on benches. Catch me on the front lines, putting work in trenches. Making sure our election, preparing for Armageddon. Mastering this profession of prophesying these lessons. Protecting our adolescents and answering all their questions. Teaching the love they reflection, no matter what the complexion. We got a common connection, a part of God's hand selection. A shot at the resurrection, through us achieving perfection. But to give life takes sacrifice. Battle demons every fight. Short days and long nights. Less sleep and more fights. More wisdom, more strife. Telling everybody that they wrong and you're right. I'm an Israelite, blood of an Israelite. I ride for my Israelites and die for my Israelites. We owe a debt cause Christ paid the price. So who ready to give their life the life of the Israelite?
I'm an Israelite, die for my Israelites. Blood of the Israelites, going through it cause we're Israelites. Kwam Yashra Allah to all my Israelites. I'm an Israelite, die for my Israelites. Blood of the Israelites, cry for my Israelites. Going through it cause we're Israelites. Kwam Yashra Allah to all my Israelites.
Now turn the headphones up just a little bit. Yo.
So up a Yahweh dome. 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 So up a Yahweh dome.
When I say my prayers, I gotta turn to the east. Turn to the east. Turn to the east. You go to war, y'all. You better turn to the east. Turn to the east. Turn to the east. When I say my prayers, I gotta turn to the east. Turn to the east. Turn to the east. You go to war, y'all. You better turn to the east. Turn to the east.
I used to wake up every morning, boy, and all I seen was mess. Plus the shit that I was dealing with, all I seen was stress. Now I really know the truth, and I understand what hurting niggas. Beast of the fields, they eat us up, and they hurting you. YAHANNA is what I'm repping. Siamese a weapon. Some of you niggas playing, but me, I'm really stepping. The mission that I'm on is waking up all our people. Show them we are the greatest. Nothing about a sequel. Them heathens, they gon' learn. Them heathens, they gon' burn. Esau is about to fall, then Jacob is all turned. They been fucking with the chosen, so they gotta pay. Revelation 13 and 10, tell me what does it say?
So up a Yahweh dome. So up a Yahweh dome. So up a Yahweh dome. So up a Yahweh dome.
When I say my prayers, I gotta turn to the east. Turn to the east. Turn to the east. Before you go to war, y'all, you better turn to the east. Turn to the east. Turn to the east. When I say my prayers, I gotta turn to the east. Turn to the east. Turn to the east. You go to war, y'all, you better turn to the east. Turn to the east. Turn to the east.
The blood that's in my veins, descend straight from the greatest. All of my tools blow, but that 40 know it's my favorite. And we losing all our babies to this crazy shit we represent. The money in the world, nigga, this crazy shit ain't making sense. We the children of, and we fighting all the dogs. The way you enamel my bitch armless. Remember Oklahoma? That is where them cracker bombs. The pain will make you wake up. You know they really hate it. Turn the truth into a lie. That's the shit they gotta paint about a sequel. Yeah.
Prayers, I gotta turn to the east, turn to the east, turn to the east. You go to war, yo, turn to the east. When I say my prayers, I gotta turn to the east, turn to the east, turn to the east. You go to war, yo, you better turn to the east, turn to the east, turn to the east.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Check. So like I put a 144 in the chat if you can hear us loud and clear online. A 144 in the chat. Salakia.
And let's go ahead and clap it up. Shalom, Israel. We're the I.S.U.P.K. Started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under command of YAHANNA. We're not affiliated with any other Israelite groups. Tonight, we are going into the Monday night history. And Stan, I'm preaching officer 1,000, I.S.U.P.K. I got along with me, preaching officer 1,000. Also, bunker y'all. My boy had to say your boy live tonight.
Wow.
Had to say your boy live tonight. You know what I'm saying? But tonight we're gonna be getting into a little bit of history. You understand? Got a couple of topics lined up, a couple of stories. You understand? And without further ado, we'll just jump right on into it. Everybody already know where I go first. Everybody already know. You understand? It's something about Zephaniah 2:1, man. Like I know they probably get tired of hearing that scripture, but I love Zephaniah 2:1, man. You understand? Because it allows us to know that this is not your rest, man. You understand? It allows us to know that we are that nation of people, you understand, in the earth that's not desired, that's spoken of in Zephaniah. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, no matter how many times I read it, I find different ways to be able to break it down. You know what I'm saying? Like, I kid you not, I read that scripture almost every weekend, if not every weekend. You know what I'm saying? And I find different ways to break it down.
Son of Christ.
What happened to the video?
Check. We're here. I don't know why. Let me see. There we go. How's that better? Now you can see. So, like, if I may, we're in the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2, verse 1. Gather yourselves together. Yea, gather together, O nation not desired.
Right. You understand? Zephaniah, in the book of Zephaniah, we're commanded to gather ourselves together, a nation of people who are not desired. And what's so crazy is like the guy I was just telling you about, that Tim, what's his name? Goodness gracious, I forgot the double name that fast. Tim Wise, right. He was talking about how in that lecture he was talking about how, you know, like his people, like he literally said that he was like his people, you know what I'm saying, didn't just one person lead blacks and Hispanics into captivity. He said we did it. Like he was like it wasn't just one person or a group of people. He said it was the nation. You understand? He understood that his nation led another nation of people into captivity, man. Right. And he was telling them that they have to own up to it. You know what I'm saying? And he was telling, like, he was basically telling them, like, you know, you can't run from your history, because if you don't know your history, you understand, you bound to repeat it. And we what we know about our oppressor is our oppressor runs from their history, man. Right. They run from their history. You understand? Instead of them taking responsibility and feeling that guilt, you understand, they decide to run so they don't have to feel anything. You understand? And that right there is a spit in the face to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, because I guarantee you ask any black man or any black woman, you understand, outside of the brothers in here, you know, brothers and sisters in here, we want rulership. You know what I'm saying? But I guarantee you ask any black, Hispanic, or Native Indian outside of here, they not even gonna be mad, you understand, about what happened. You know, they're not gonna be mad about the Caucasian man history, man. Mm-hmm. You understand? It's a lot of black people that ain't mad about the history of Caucasian people. They just mad because you won't acknowledge it. You understand? A lot of people mad because you won't acknowledge what you did to a nation of people. So like, good.
So like, if I may, that's heavy that you're mentioning that, because with white society not acknowledging the collective fault of their nation, of their crimes against our nation, you know, that's a real crime. Right. And what's interesting about it is the fact that us as a nation of people, you can look in Joshua, you can look in Kings, and you can see how when one of us sinned against the Lord, the entire nation suffered. Right. The entire nation endured the consequences. Yep. So it's only right for America today to pay for the sins of America, you know, of old. Salakia.
Nah, you're absolutely correct. You understand? And to add on to it, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't say that you don't, like, that you didn't take part of it, because you still benefit from it. And then when it's spoken about, you say, let it go. You understand? When you look at the oppressor had never let nothing go. The oppressor still lives in the past. So how the hell they tell you not to remember your past? They live in the past.
Right.
Like y'all ever seen them Revolutionary War reenactments? They live in their past. They celebrate 4th of July every year. You understand? They celebrate their independence every year. And if you tell them, hey, man, you know, y'all gained y'all independence so long ago, forget about it, they'll be pissed off. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? They remember 9/11 every year, but as a black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, you're not allowed to remember what happened to you. You're not even allowed to address or speak on the things, you understand, that you went through as a nation of people, man. So lucky.
No, so like, if I may, that's heavy you say that. You know, I went to the Special Ops Museum here in downtown Fayetteville.
I've never been in there.
And it's really interesting. It's a lot of history. You know, they really worship themselves, especially, you know, Esau. Why wouldn't they worship, you know, the fact that they were blessed with the sword, you know? So they glory in that. They revel in the fact that, you know, they have a mighty military. They got the armed services in each branch. And one of the things that I noticed when I went in there was like what you said, they remember 9/11. They had all kinds of posters or editorials from the 40s, 1941. Mm-hmm. Remember December 7th. And I'm like, December 7th? What the hell happened December 7th? Pearl Harbor. And I'm like, man, this is really, really interesting to see that. You know, so it's like, who the hell are you to tell us not to remember slavery?
Right.
Who the hell are you to tell us to not think about the Native Americans that lost their 77 million Native Americans, you know, that lost their lives? So forget about it. I'm in here with you.
Nah, you too wild. You too wild. Nah, you good. You good? Land your plane? Good to go?
Yeah, nah. You out there on the runway.
Nah, you good.
You take off.
But it's just so crazy, man. Like, to think that they would tell you to forget your history when they throw their history in your face every month out the year, man. They got January, March, April, May, June, July. Like they got every month out the year. Even when it comes to Black History Month, is watered down. It ain't even the real truth of what happened to Black people. They get rid of all Black history. And Donald Trump is trying to get rid of Black history right now. Why? Because he don't want to have to deal with the shame. He don't want his kids to know what his people have done to Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You know what I'm saying? And like what's so crazy is like when our oppressor came over here from Europe, you understand? They left from over there trying to pursue a better life for them and their families. They left looking for freedom. They left looking for ways to feed their families. You understand? They left fleeing oppression. You understand? But then they judge Hispanics for crossing the border to do the same exact thing. And then had a nerve to say, well, I want them to do like our people did, cross over legally. When Caucasians did not cross into America legally. Right. You understand? You like it was neither legal or illegal, if that makes sense. You understand? Because there was no laws about having a passport or citizenship and stuff like that. It was no laws about you having to gain citizenship. So they just came over here looking for a better life, and then they turn around and judge the people, you understand, who land they took half of. They turn around and judge them and tell them, you understand, that they can't come over here for a better life. You want to collect? They come over here and tell them that they can't, you understand, cross the border looking for a better life, even like, and that's so hypocritical because that's what the Caucasian man did. You fled a country, coming to another country, you understand, looking for some type of freedom and some type of way to live, you understand? And then Donald Trump got the nerve to open his bastardized mouth and say, well, Mexico don't send their best Mexicans over here. You understand? You think that Europe sent their best Europeans over here? Right. They were criminals, man. They were criminals. The best of them, like, it wasn't the rich that came over here. It wasn't the rich. It was the criminals that came over here, man. Right. You understand? The people they had locked up in chains, the robbers, the rapists, you understand? The murderers, those were the ones who traveled over here, man. You understand? And it blows my mind how they get how you got the United States, right? You understand? And if I'm wrong, you understand, one of the brothers, please tell me if I'm wrong, right? Last time I checked, you understand, if you look at the map of the United States, right? The United States has 4 borders on it. It has 4 borders. You understand? You got an east border, a west border, a north border, and a south border. So it blows my mind that you only concerned about one border. You ain't worried about the rest of the borders. You're not worried about the Canadian man coming over here trying to get a piece of the best healthcare system in the earth. You understand? Which I was being sarcastic. America does not have the best healthcare system in the world. But my point being, you only worry about the southern border. Why? Because they don't want Hispanics, man. They don't want Hispanics to cross over looking for a better life. You understand? They try to keep Blacks and Hispanics away from each other, man. You understand?
So I can read what's.
Oh, go ahead, Slug.
So we got a few comments. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat. Endure TV. Even now, they have gentrified parts of Mexico so much that the locals can't afford to live there anymore. They just keep displacing the natives.
Right. You understand? Like that's so heavy. Like I remember when I first came into the class, I was crazy as hell. He's still crazy. Respectfully, right. Respectfully. You understand? But like he dropped this seed where he was like, you know, why is it that when Black people move into a white neighborhood, the first thing they say is, oh, they go to the neighborhood, there goes the property value. You understand? But you see who really driving the neighborhood to destruction and who really is raising and dropping the property value with like they just said with Endure TV, you understand, in Mexico. These devils are crossing over to somebody else's country, you understand, and it's disrupting their ecosystem. You driving the price up so much so in another people's country that the natives can't even live on their land no more. You understand? And that's why the Lord told us that we need to gather ourselves together, man. You understand? Because if we come together, this type of stuff wouldn't happen. It wouldn't be room for it to happen. You understand? Imagine if every time you had a problem, instead of calling the police, you understand, instead of going to voting booths, voting, you called Commander YAHANNA or General Muhammad, a man who is a man of God, who thinks logically on how to fix problems for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, not just patch them up with a Band-Aid, not just tell them something, you understand, that sound good and then leave them to be destroyed. So like it, yo.
We're in the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2, verse 1. Gather yourselves together, yea, gather together, O nation not desired.
Right. You understand? Because we're a nation of people that's not desired. That's why they would come from Europe into America, you understand, and take over the land. Take over, like think about how evil and wicked this bastard is, man. Right. He didn't come, and the Native Indians, you understand, and the Hispanics, because they was here too, they accepted this bastard with open arms, man. They taught him how to survive through the winter. You understand? And what did they do in return? Gave them smallpox blankets. You understand? Killed all the buffaloes so that that nation of people wouldn't have any way to eat. Right. That's an evil. Like, who would even think to let's just starve them out, starve out the children, starve out the wives. Only right. You're right. Only a devil would think of something like that. Salakia, go ahead, sir.
Salakia, you were so heavy that you talking about Jamaica, right? I mean, Salakia, like Mexico, right? Mm-hmm. Like Endure TV saying, but just looking up, I remember Captain I thought was saying this. Majority of the beachfront property that's in Jamaica is owned by private corporations and resorts. Mm-hmm. And it says through illegal selling of the land with the British monarch as the title owner. So they let you know the oppressor owns all the high value land that's in Jamaica as well. All the beaches, they own majority of the beaches, and they're all private beaches for the resorts that are in Jamaica as well.
Ain't that so? And I guarantee you, it's the same thing in Mexico. We know it's the same in Puerto Rico. Like they driving up the price. I talk to Puerto Ricans every day, man, and it's so sad. Like having a conversation with them, and you ask them, like where you from or whatever, and they tell you, they from Puerto Rico, like west side, east side of the island, whatever the case may be. And like I like to ask like them questions about like how often do you go back, like what is it like now, you understand, like how did it recover from, because they had that huge hurricane out there, you understand, when Trump was first in office, and he didn't help them at all, and that island's still recovering. But they, talking to them brothers and sisters, they'll tell you like, nah, when that hurricane destroyed that island, Caucasians moved in and gentrified it. They didn't help the people rebuild. You understand? And that's the same thing they start doing with Black and Hispanic neighborhoods. You understand? I think it was like 3/5 of every Black neighborhood, you understand, was demolished when they didn't. And like this, the crazy part about it. You understand? The neighborhoods that they call Black neighborhoods were never even Black neighborhoods. Those were Caucasian neighborhoods first. You understand? But and Black people weren't even allowed in them. The places we call the hood now, we weren't even allowed in those places. We weren't even allowed to have government housing. You understand? And they what they did was they took in all that government housing that they was given to our Caucasian race. You understand? They started implementing things like what? The VA loan. Yeah, what is it called? FHA. You understand? They start doing all that stuff. You understand? Underwriting them loans so that white people didn't have to stay in them areas, and then that's when they pushed Black people into them areas. And then what they did, they still went back and destroyed them areas, man. And now they coming back today, demolishing them, rebuilding them up for Caucasian people. You understand? So when you think about the middle class was non-existent. It was just rich people and poor people. You understand? The government forged, you understand, a middle class. They made a middle class. You understand? And the middle class did not consist of black people. Right. The middle class was only for white people, so that they can get the help that they needed. You understand? While black people had to stay out of certain areas, like the redlining.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Salaki.
No, so like that's heavy because that's the reason why the Supreme Court shot down affirmative action.
Right.
Is because, you know, black women lead with respect to post-secondary education. They're the most educated demographic on planet Earth.
Yeah.
And, you know, we were having the getting the education so that we can secure, you know, the jobs to basically, you know, bring home the bacon, you know, and it saddens me that our people won't look at the facts. You know, we're so disillusioned with this idea of us getting a piece of the American dream.
Right.
That dream was never intended for so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians.
Right.
So lucky.
No, what's sound crazy? You understand? It definitely was not intended for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, and we seeing it right now. You understand? The American dream has been a nightmare for black people, man. Mm-hmm. You understand? And the thing that gets me is, like, you have to think about, like, just because one individual does not make the nation.
That's right.
You understand? Just because you make it out, you understand, you find a way to make millions in this empire, you understand? That don't mean that your nation just free and they just lazy now. You understand? What our oppressor like to say, oh, the Mexicans stealing all the jobs. Black people stealing. They used to say black people stealing all the jobs.
Right.
They used to say black people stealing all the jobs, and then turned around and say black people lazy. That's why they in the same position they in. So which one is it, Negro? Mm-hmm. Are we lazy or are we stealing all the jobs? Because last time I checked, the lazy nigga don't want a job.
Yeah, you steal a job.
Right. And how do you steal a job? Yeah, we just gonna take the job to the hood. They're gonna steal the Ford plan and take it to the hood. Like, it don't make sense, man. You understand? So like we was on Jeremiah. Can we jump over the book of Hosea 4? Like these 4:6, these evil bastards, man, like they don't understand, like, well, they do understand. They understand the oppression that they put on black people, you understand, but they don't want to acknowledge it. They don't want their kids to know what their history is. You try to hide your history, and you tell us to forget ours so that yours don't shine, like so that the light don't shine on yours. You understand? But you celebrate your history every chance you get. You understand? Go ahead. Hosea 4:6.
Come on, God. It's the book of Hosea, chapter 4, verse 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
Right. And here we are destroyed, man, because we don't know our history. You understand? It's so much stuff that I did not know before I came into this school. Right. You understand? This school opened my mind. You understand? It made me want to know more about the history of our people, because it's very, very, very interesting. Our history, black history, is very interesting history, man. The history in the Bible is very interesting history because it's history that pertains to Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians and nobody else. But it tells you who everybody else is. You understand? And it's something that we grow up not even knowing. It's something that we not even supposed to know. You're not even supposed to know your history.
Right.
You understand? Because these devils don't want us to know our history. That's why our history not in the history books. You understand? When it comes to I looked it up earlier. When it comes to school curriculum, 99% of the books were written by white people, man. Mm-hmm. You understand? It's like, good, sir.
But you know, that's heavy that you say that. All these books that we look at as interesting, right? It goes right back to Christianity. Mm-hmm. See, our leaders are, you know, so that's what we do. Just like we teach in class tonight, we stand in the gap to teach our people the truth. You understand? But the leaders that we look at as being like, at such a high statue, like because they have money or they have cars or whatever, slavery, whatever their appointed office is, they are the ones that make the deals with these devils behind closed doors.
Right.
They are the ones that say, well, we don't need black books, we need more of y'all books. Because in their mind, they're thinking there is no need for us to teach Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian about their culture when we want them to assimilate to profit. I mean, for the oppressor to profit off of our, whatever off of our gifts. You understand?
Right.
And our leaders, just like Jay-Z, he's not trying to create like an empire of Black music or Black culture when it comes to that. He said, well, give me your music and I'll give it to them for the Super Bowl. It's the same thing when we talk about the books, the doctors, the lawyers, all our people that are skillful in their gifts and their crafts. Our leaders say it's more beneficial for our children to join the oppressor's military than for us to create our own military.
That's right.
And it's like for us, it's like our oppressor has taught us, and our leaders have taught us outside of the I.S.U.P.K. It's better for us to just give up since it's so goddamn hard. You understand? Like it's just we get to the point where it's just so hard. Like we get so beat down, we forget to give the Most High His.
Right.
We get so beat down, we forget to give each other what we have to give each other. So we'll talk shit, treat each other like trap all day. But you get to that to the oppressor slave, man, you coming out palms and teeth, smiling, ready to go to work. And then you may bump into one that kind of treats you bad, but you happy to be in there. You happy to be a part of this empire. You understand? So we talk about Black history. Our people, because of our leaders in Christianity, teaches us it's better to assimilate than to separate.
Right.
And that's Christianity. You understand, Salakia?
No, yeah, right. Give him a hand, man. You understand? They teach us to be comfortable where we are, man. You understand? You don't have to go further. Oh, it's too hard. And what's so crazy is we as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, you understand, we don't know that we've been conditioned to give up when it's too hard. They make it complicated so that you won't go further. That's why they have you jumping through the hoops. They have you running from this building to that. You ever try to sign up for school? Good night. Yeah, they have you going all over the place. You bouncing back and forth so much so to a point it's like, okay, now like this is ridiculous. All this to sign up, and Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. At that point, you about like, man, I probably don't even need to go to school. You give up. Right. Yeah, God must not want me here. This ain't nothing but the Lord right here. Good night. Let's see. I got you.
Salakia, that's Trooper Quawa Bar. He says they don't do nothing but remix the history anyway. They're destroying all the books. He says they put it right in our face with that movie with Michael B. Jordan. I guess he's talking about Sinners. So.
Yeah, they destroy it. Man, good night. You understand? And to add to that, brother, like they throw it in our face with Tyler Perry. You understand? Like, don't get me wrong, I like Spike Lee, but Spike Lee, you understand? We got Black directors. You understand? We got huge Black actors and artists. You understand? Like, think about if Tyler Perry used Tyler Perry Studios to push Black shows about Black history or make movies about Black history. You understand? You making that stupid behind movie. What you say? Ruth. What is it?
Ruth, Boaz
and Ruth. Like, you making that dumb behind content. You can use that Tyler Perry Studios. You understand? And tell these niggas to come out here and record a I.S.U.P.K camp video.
So like, man, brother, there is no money in that.
It ain't.
And that's what it boils down. There is no money in it. Like, our value in this empire is attached to what we can earn. That's it. Your value, when you look in that mirror, from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep, it's all about what you can earn.
Yep.
You look at yourself like that. Some of your ribs look at your husbands like that. Some of the children look at the parents like that. It's about what you can earn, what you have to give them, not what you can teach them, not how you can protect them, not how you can guide them, not how we can sacrifice for them. So we talk about these movies. There is no sacrifice. Tyler Perry makes the movies that he makes simply because he wants to stay rich. That's it. And he know that there's some broken-hearted black woman right now still looking for her Boaz, or looking for that one nigga that's gonna come and fall out the goddamn sky like Spider-Man to save her dumb ass. You understand? And she been conditioned by this empire to look for it. Not understanding that, that your mindset has to change, and the brother that you're looking for is right in front of you. But you don't see no value in him because you're looking for his gold chains. You're looking for his Prada shoes, or his, whatever that special slavery that he has. You understand? Boaz owned the goddamn winery, and before she found out he was the winery owner, I'm not interested. I'm just. She didn't even want to deal with the brother. Tyler Perry got the man taking off his shirt, and women. Now see, that's what I'm saying. But it's the attraction level that we all see the physical, but not understanding what the Most High calls us to do is a spiritual eye. Spiritual eye. Our value is created through spirituality, our moral values, and what we do and what we won't do. Not what we have, not what we, our earning potential. Salakia. My bad, bro.
Damn, nah, you right on with it. You understand? Oh, he said Fahrenheit. Oh, where they was destroying the books, where they was burning the books, they couldn't read the books. You don't remember that one?
I remember Equilibrium. That's just before your time. This is with Christian Bale and Tay Diggs, and what they were doing. It was forcing all the citizens to take this medication to dumb them down, literally to keep them null and void. And they were getting rid of anything that would induce like intellectual thought, art, music, anything, and it's along the same lines. I remember Fahrenheit 451, Salakia.
Nah, you too. The Fahrenheit, that's a Jordan B, because it was like illegal to read the books or something, and they had them going in the house burning and arresting people for reading.
Right, that was a spinoff of Equilibrium. Look it up.
And like so what's so crazy about that too is like that's how they treated blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians though. You understand? You would get your eyes burned out for reading the Bible, man. For even trying to figure out how to read or trying to figure out who you are reading the Bible. You understand? Nat Turner opened his Bible and found out that he, you understand, was the Israelites, was an Israelite according to this Bible, and he wreaked havoc on them devils, man. You understand? He unalived them devils. Now, I'm not telling you to do that, you understand? But now we're not living in the times that Nat Turner was living in, man. You can open this Bible up, you understand, get it here with the priests and prophets, you understand, and get this Bible broken down and have an understanding of who you are, you understand, and use that as your foundation to keep building and moving forward and opening up the eyes of this nation. Like Al-Zazan was saying, like saving our people, man. You understand?
Sister Naimia says, Salakia, sir, you are so right. I work at a local college, and you wouldn't believe the amount of people who get frustrated with registration and want to quit.
Yeah.
I make sure I help each one I can. Most I give her.
Yeah, man. Like it's so frustrating. And think about young man, young woman, you understand, coming out of high school who probably don't have a parent or somebody who loved them to walk them across this campus. You understand? I remember when I signed up at Savannah State, you had admissions all the way up the hill. You understand? And like you had the like loan office and stuff like that all the way down the hill. You understand? Registrars and all this, like it was so spread out. It was constantly back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. You understand? Yeah. And it's like at this point, you understand, it's so many people on the campus. You're not trying to drive all across the campus. It takes longer. So you just walking back and forth, trying to handle all this stuff. And these people telling, well, you got to go here because we can't see this and all. It's frustrating.
Salak, if I may,
Salak,
I unfortunately chose to go to a PWI initially, and they literally demean you. They make it a demeaning experience for you to have to go to financial aid.
Yeah.
You know, it's usually the Black and Hispanic students,
of course,
the low income students, the impoverished students that have to go, like you said, across campus. And the way they even structure the courses when you register, I don't know if on the log they can see who has paid their tuition in full for the semester or who is waiting on their financial aid to hit in order for you to even get
they
your
probably
books.
can see it.
Yeah, it's definitely a way. It reminds me of that scene in Higher Learning, you know, where old buddy, because I guess he lost his partial scholarship because he didn't want to run.
Right.
You know, they pretty much pulled him out of the classes. They dropped his classes, and he had to go see the track coach or whatever.
Yep.
It's like they make it damn near nigh to impossible for you to do something that should be, you know, easily granted to you to get an education. How else, if you really wanted to make America great again, education for so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians should be free.
Right.
You shouldn't have to take out student loans. You shouldn't have to apply for FAFSA. You shouldn't have to rely on the federal government to you know, and they make you pay all that back. We get indebted so that we can just survive, you know, and it's ridiculous. It
is ridiculous. I know plenty of brothers and sisters who will take their reparations in education, free education, and healthcare.
Facts.
You understand? Like, and what's so heavy about what you're saying is, like, I done went to that financial office and you don't see nothing but niggas in there.
Right.
Nothing but our people in there. You understand? And you got some old hag sitting behind a computer who don't even want to help you. They having conversations amongst themselves. You understand?
Yeah.
And like the whole office ain't full.
Right.
Like, God, like, come on, man. Yeah, it's like it makes it so hard, like you said, to want to do this, like want to do it or go through with it. So like,
Sister Naimia says, "Con, sir, they can see exactly what you owe and what you're waiting on to cover it."
Yeah. So so not only that, like they probably sitting behind them computers judging you, man. They judging you. So like all because you want to better your life. You understand? And you trying to do it the right way. Like, what do you think? What do you think makes crime? Niggas trying to better their lives, you understand, and being turned away at every corner or it being made difficult. You understand? When your Caucasian counterpart, he don't have to get it out the mud. His dad can hand him $2 million. He can inherit millions and millions of dollars. You understand? Like look at this goofy behind what's his name? Goodness gracious, what's this devil name? The singing devil with all the Post Malone.
Right.
Your father was rich, and you didn't make it a rock and roll, so you gonna come over to rap and destroy black people with your music. Yeah, and then you're gonna transition after you done destroyed brothers and sisters. You done slept with as many black women as you want as a rapper. Now you transition over to country music.
Right.
Like, but your dad was already rich. So you weren't hurting for nothing. You could have been whatever the hell you really wanted to be. You had the funding behind it. You understand? Brothers and sisters put their entire lives on hold. They leave home. Like I was saying, you choose to join Esau's military just for a way out and get destroyed, man. So like it. Is
which one you want?
Just tell me,
just point and I'll shoot. Just point and I'll shoot.
That's insane. That's crazy. I think it was it ain't this one. It's what the other one is it?
I can pull them up. I'll pull them up. And they're probably in the email, Salakia.
Yeah, that Tim Wise one is in a different. I had to send that one separately. It didn't go through. So it's the history right class here. Topic.
Is it this one here?
No, the other ones.
Oh, okay.
I mean, if you want to start there, we can start there.
No, it don't matter. This one here?
Yeah. I think it was like the fourth one from the bottom.
This one here.
Yeah, I believe that was it.
Is it a
probably showing there you go. Let me share the screen with you real quick. Go ahead. Read that scripture again, Kudon. Salaki.
Wakanda is the book of Hosea, chapter 4, verse 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou have destroyed, it's like a rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power, I will also forget thy children.
Right. You understand? Like, one thing that we have to understand is that we don't have the knowledge of the Most High, man. You understand? There's no knowledge of the Most High in this place. You understand? At all. The only way you find out who the Lord actually is in the I.S.U.P.K, man. We're the only ones that's teaching blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to come back to the Bible. You're not going to find the IUIC. You understand? Because IUIC does not follow the laws of the Most High. That's why the leader of IUIC will send a rod pick, you understand, to his captains and officers of the school. Like what are you even taking a picture of your rod for? And how the hell you don't know who you added to the message thread before you send it?
He knew.
He knew exactly who you sending it to. The same way if it was already in a group chat, he already knew what he was. He knew exactly what he was doing, man. He was trying to see who was gonna bite the bait. He trying to see who gonna bite the bait. Yeah, he knew, man. He already knew, man. You understand? But the Lord has been rejecting blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians because we continue to reject his knowledge, man. You understand? I was debating with this sister on Instagram the other day. Well, I wasn't debating what I had said. What I had to say, I ain't respond back. But she kept mentioning me and talking about it's 2025, like you got this and all this and that. So I went and looked at her page. I was like, oh yeah, you destroyed. I just left it alone. I ain't say nothing back to her. You know what I'm saying? But my point being is in the back, like when she mentioned me on something that I ain't even mentioned her about, like I just commented on a video and said what I had to say. Didn't mention nobody, anything like that. I just literally put my opinion up there, and everybody felt the need to respond. And so in her response to me, she was like, the hell with what God said. I ain't worried about what God said. And so like, this is why we destroy it, or that is why we destroy it, because we choose not to know the knowledge of the Most High, man. You understand? But so like, we gonna jump over to that video.
Okay, you ready?
Come on.
James Gibson versus City of Chicago et al. In the amount of $14,750,000.
Hearing no objections, seeing no hands, so ordered.
Come here, mama. They couldn't break me. They couldn't break me, mom.
James Gibson was awarded almost $15 million by the city of Chicago for spending almost 30 years in prison for a double murder he didn't commit. Not only that, but he was tortured for days, he told us, by a Chicago police unit that would end up being tied to more than 100 cases of abuse. This settlement, by the way, is just a fraction of the over $100 million worth of settlements struck by the city of Chicago tied to police misconduct cases just this year. Now, I was with James Gibson at City Hall when he got literally millions of dollars, but he wasn't celebrating in the way you would think. How you feeling, James?
Why would he celebrate? You lost 30 years of your life. Your mother has passed away. You understand? You don't have a wife. You don't have kids. You understand? You were convicted of a crime, of a double murder crime that you didn't even commit. And that happens to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians time and time and time again. Right. You understand? When the hell, who the hell gonna start policing the judge? You understand? And these because you can't tell me some of these them bastards on jury duty. Somebody need to start looking at their history. Start looking at their history. Start investigating them before you put people's lives in their hand, man. The judge too, the arresting officer. You understand? The lawyers. Somebody need to start paying attention to this, man, because this happens entirely too much for people not to be outraged about it. Especially if you call your justice system just. So like, go ahead.
So like, if I may, during jury selection, the state knows exactly who they want. You know, with respect to, you know, their cause. If they stacking the case against you, they know who is going to be against you based off of who they select to be on that jury. What happens is so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, when you get selected for jury duty, don't be a goddamn coward when you're in that room, in that deliberation room. You have to stand up for your brothers and sisters, man. You know, and I've been on jury duty before. I had the unfortunate, you know, experience of having to sit on jury duty. I know the brother was guilty. He was guilty as hell. I could look at the brother when he walked in. I said, this nigga did everything they said he did. But all the other devils that were in there, they were thinking the same way, just based off of his appearance. And I wasn't going to allow him to get railroaded like that. And when I spoke up in that deliberation room, the other brothers, it gave them, it motivated them and encouraged them and inspired them to stand up. You know, and it is what it is. You know, I ain't gonna speak on that. But you know, the brother ended up getting off. But one of the devils that was in the room was like, my gut is telling me that he did it. Well, sister, Miss Lady, your gut is not on trial here. The state basically said you had to prove without a reasonable doubt with the facts. And the state failed to do that with the facts. So we got to stand up, man. We, like you said, Zephaniah, we have to gather together. We have to. Right. Salakia.
Nah, you absolutely correct, man. I was bumping y'all ahead. Out here saving lives.
He ain't here.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but that happens so much. Like, and what the hell happened to a jury of your peers? What happened to that?
Salak, if I may, it was so many devils that the state had selected to sit on the jury. It was probably 3 brothers, man. It was 3 black folks that were selected. Everybody else was Caucasian, or other,
of course.
And you know, they were aloof to, you know, the gun violence here in Fayetteville. They acted like they, you know, they were above it affecting them. They didn't know anybody that
it don't exist.
Yeah, it didn't exist in their eyes. So the state was like, we want this person versus the person that, oh, this is Fayetteville. Yeah, I'm very familiar with gun violence. You know, of course, we don't advocate for violence at all. We're against it. But what happened was disgusting, and it was wicked, and it was evil. But even in that, you know, we have to like you said, gather ourselves together, man. You know, I can't land this plane. You had to help me.
Like it just don't make sense. And like he said, this brother wasn't celebrating the way you would think he would. Like, I'm not gonna celebrate losing 30 years of my life. That's time I can never get back. You understand? And when they brought this brother out the courtroom, he started crying to his mother, saying they couldn't break me. And she gone, can't hear him, never see her again outside of a picture. You ain't seen her in 30 years. He probably don't even know he probably don't remember what her face looked like, what a laugh sound like, what a voice sound like, the last hug that he gave her. You understand? They took this brother life from him, man. Meanwhile, you understand, these bastards walk up and down throughout the earth every day, being the biggest criminals on the face of the earth, and nothing happens. You understand? Nothing happens to them. Y'all seen this thing where it says Caucasian males are just as likely or even more likely, you understand, than black and Hispanic males to have drugs on them when black people get searched, to have weapons on them when black people get searched. But the thing is, they skin color allows them to be able to get away, you understand, without being profiled. Like, it don't even make sense. Go ahead, Salaki.
No. So like at camp this weekend, you know, we had dialogue with this 16-year-old devil that came up against the camp wanting to, you know, inquire about, you know, salvation for all people. And Officer Zion, you know, hit him in the head, not literally, but, you know, figuratively, you know, and basically, you know, asked him, you know, we were talking about, you know, drugs. And he said, he's 16 now. Officer Zion said, you do drugs, you smoke weed. He says, I used to. I'm thinking like, damn, you 16.
Yeah.
What you mean you used to smoke weed? When did you start smoking weed? Which is crazy to me. You 16, you smoking weed, and this is a full-on white boy that's trying to, save the world with white Jesus. And it just really, that's food for thought. Like, yeah, you need to stop and frisk every devil in this kingdom, because I'm pretty sure we're not the ones that's creating those switches.
Nope.
With 3D printers. They're doing that. They're the ones making the ghost guns. Salakia.
No, you absolutely correct. And like, it's just so crazy because, like, hell, we
can we drop the video?
You can. Let me see. Which one was it? I think it was like either the first or second one, I believe.
I could find it.
You know where I'm going to. When you see it, you'll know.
You say it was the first or the second one. Let me see. Let me open up a new tab.
Yes, when you see it, you'll know.
This one here?
Look at me. Yeah. Hey, how you know?
Hey,
how you know? like
it's a lock, yeah.
I told you know when you see it. I told you know when you see it, brother. Hey, know the man that labor among thee. Like, think about if these bastards if somebody would have stopped and frisked. Charlie Clerk was still Kirk. Charlie Kirk would still be alive if somebody would have stopped and frisked. I can't even say it. I can't say it on the camera, can I? If somebody would have stopped and frisked that. The devil. All right, yeah, we'll just call him a devil. We'll just call him a devil. That hey man with a G. You understand? They would have stopped and frisked him. Charlie Kirk would still be alive.
Right.
If Charlie Kirk wasn't an evil, wicked bastard, he would still be alive. You understand? Charlie Kirk died for the very thing that he stood for. The very thing that he said was going to happen happened to him. I guarantee you, when he says he fine with some people dying, you understand? For America to keep their guns, I guarantee you he didn't think that he was going to be on the other end of that.
Right.
You understand? Like, come on, man. These devils just walk around freely and nobody polices them. And they the most violent creatures on the face of the earth, man. Right. The most violent. Everywhere they go is violence and bloodshed, man. You understand? And they get to walk around like they the most innocent beings on the face of the earth. And the crazy thing is, everybody know who the devil is in the earth, man. Everybody know who the devil is. But nobody says anything. Right. Like, good. Have a problem in this country. They didn't cross the border. Goodness gracious. Oh, you can't click on it?
They making me.
I don't think it's a video. Is it? Was it a video?
Oh, no. I don't think it's a video. I think it's just a meme. Right.
Yeah, like that right there is the problem that America really faces. You understand? Now, let's go ahead.
If I could, check.
Yeah, you should be good. You good?
Check. Oh, one thing I noticed about these pictures right here with these oppressors, they don't have no shame.
They don't.
If you ever see, whenever you understand, I remember also Zion brought this out a long time ago. Even when we commit a crime as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, the first thing we do was we'll hold our head down. They holding their head up with pride, like, yeah, I did it. You don't see no remorse on none of these faces, these 8 faces that we see. You understand? And they so damn prideful. That's why the scripture says pride go before destruction, man.
Yep.
You understand? And these men, right, or whatever you want to call them, are so prideful, just even in their pictures. So why?
Nah, that's heavy because, like, you understand? That's heavy. You understand? And this just what? Just 8 of these devils? Imagine the ones that get away. Imagine the George Zimmermans. You understand? The ones who get away. All them devils that did what they did to Emmett Till. the ones who still lynch brothers, you understand, and they chalk it up as a suicide. You understand? Who was that? Who was that brother that was that's his name? That Colin Kaepernick paid for a second autopsy for?
That's the brother that was at the college, right?
Right. And Salakia, he paid for that secondary autopsy to be performed, and the medical examiner reported that it was blunt force trauma.
Yep.
That don't happen when you commit suicide. So there was some sort of other external forces at work.
See, my thing is, like, imagine if Colin Kaepernick never stood up and said, I will put my money forth to do this. Right. The family probably didn't have the money to put forth. Oh, Salakia, go ahead, sir.
Heavy that you say that. I was about to say that goes to the suffering of Black, Hispanic, Native Indians.
Mm-hmm.
We are saying day in and day out, we are being picked off in his empire. We're being hunted. We're being, unalive at an alarming rate.
Right.
Nobody is coming paying for them to come in and do a second look at what is happening to Black, Hispanic, Native Indians in his empire. Only the Most High. Like the scripture say, no man shall save thee. Like today, we see Colin Kaepernick pay for that. I thought that was an honorable thing. But we looking at the suffering that Black, Hispanics, and Native Indians have gone through day in and day out. This lets me know if you have to pay a coroner just to take a look at somebody that we all can see, this is out of the normal.
Right.
When we going to examine ourselves and see that the life that we live in is out of the normal?
That's right.
Like when are we going to slow down and realize, like, wait a minute, the person who going to pay for our second chance has done it already. Mm-hmm. It's up to us to realize that it's already been done. That young man lost his life. He you know what I'm saying? Lord be with the family. May he rise again. But we're here today. And our Savior Christ has already paid for the autopsy.
Right.
We know what happened to us. Our obedience, our disobedience, and loving the oppressor. Yep. When are we gonna wake up out of our stupor, out of our sleep bunk, y'all, and realize that our second chance been paid for already?
Right.
Salakia.
No, damn right. You understand? Our second chance has already been paid for, but Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we don't know it because the preacher ain't gonna tell you that. You understand? The Christian pastor ain't gonna tell you that. You're not gonna learn that from America. You're not gonna learn that from American universities. Right. You're not gonna learn that that our second chance has already been paid for. You understand? We been unalive in these streets, and we just act like we don't even know why. We don't even try to find out why. We don't even, like you said, we don't even evaluate ourselves. You understand? Or look at our reflection, you understand, of the things, or look at the reflection of the things that we're doing and see any problems with it. Mm-hmm. We don't self-reflect. We're not taught how to self-reflect. We just go day to day. Yeah, what's good, brother? There's another day, man. Another day, another dollar. You trying to make that dollar any way you can. Like, it ain't the fault of Black people. You understand? It's not your fault because you don't know. Nobody taught us. You understand? Our parents are taken from us, and they don't have the opportunity to teach us anything. Even when they still in our lives, they don't have the opportunity to teach us anything because they always gone. Like, you got parents that work 2 and 3 jobs just trying to make ends meet to keep the lights on. You understand? Parents trusting you to be able to go to church after school. You understand? And the whole time the pastor never molesting you. But your mom don't know because the Pastor Jimmy would never do that to you, boy. Don't you ever open your mouth and say that again. Your uncle didn't touch you, girl. Your stepdaddy didn't touch you. You just jealous. Like, what is wrong with us, man? We don't look at anything. We don't try to figure it out at all, man. You understand? Commander YAHANNA has taught us, you don't just hear something like that and just let it get brushed up under the rug. Nah, hell no. You need to ask questions.
Mm-hmm.
You need to start, hey, what y'all doing over there? Who over there? Nah, you ain't going over there. You understand? Like you're not staying the night with your friends. No, like come on, man. Right? Who over there? Who over there? Like, come on, man. What y'all gonna be doing over there? You understand? That lady who let her kid go to a birthday party and they cut the boy organs out, and she was just, oh man, husband came home, don't know what the hell going on. They trying to get in the dang apartment. They got the birthday music on repeat. They long gone. The son in the bathtub with his organs gone. Like, nah, man. Like, who over there? Go check and see. You understand? Even then, like, I still be like, nah, my kids, nah, you can't, nah. If you ain't staying with a brother or sister here, then you can't even go over there. Yeah, you can't even go over there, man. Don't even open your mouth to ask me that. Because you already know the answer about to be no.
I know that's right.
I'm probably gonna call you stupid. Man, come on, man. Look at this one. Jeez Louise. Nah, but see, this is why we have to this is why we have to come together, man. You understand? Because even this story is man, come on. Look at this devil right here talking about my dad saying, come on.
No, I got you.
I was like,
sick. You're sick. Can we sing happy birthday to you? All right, here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear legend. Happy birthday to you. Would you like the funny song now that I sing to you? Okay, it goes like this. Happy birthday to you. You live in the zoo. You look like a monkey, and you smell like one, two. Woo! Give a clap, everybody.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Salaki.
Salakia, that song was not funny for that baby.
At all.
That baby looking at her like, wow. As a child, this baby is looking at this woman like, did you really just say I lived in a zoo?
Brother, like at first, like he was smiling at first when they were saying the happy birthday. Then
right.
his whole countenance changed. He's like,
right.
Started looking around like, the hell, like what is going on right now?
So, it's a lie if I may too. Nah, no, see, Tawara, sir. Other children, this is my first time really. I've seen this video, but other children were singing that second song with the teacher. So that shows you that they're taught this at a young age.
You didn't see the devil in the comments?
Nah, I ain't seen it in the comment.
Look at the devil in the comments, man. Along the lines, she said it. Like, and you see how like they can make fun of it. Look what that devil said. Rachel
Geyer says, my dad always sang this to my sister and I in a silly way. He now sings it to the grandkids. They think it's hilarious. It could honestly just be done without malicious intent.
See, that's another way of just saying, niggas, forget about it. Right. It's just jokes. Yeah. It's just fun. We just having fun. You understand? Like,
so like you got to really translate that. And what that means is what God loves everybody.
Yeah.
The color of Christ doesn't matter. You know, the color is not in the Bible. That's what that is. But those are the smooth words. That's Christianity. That's the thing that rocks us to sleep. Now one of our brothers and sisters somewhere probably be like, you know what? I can see where it was malicious.
Right.
But the color of Christ, it don't matter. Longer we love everybody. You know, what if we all just get into heaven? That's that, I-S-U.P.K. You see that? It's so subtle, but if you're not hip to it, you know, you'll miss it. You understand? It's almost like you go into class and you tell hey, Jaquan. You're like, yeah, but you know how to enunciate it.
Right.
Well, how do you say your name again? Jackin? Come here, it's
Jay Quillen.
J Quillen. No, that's not my name. Been in that teacher class all year. She still misenunciate your name. It's like the video with Venus and Serena Williams. And it was like when their dad was like, you just heard what she told you. She said she was gonna win. Right. Now, why would you mess with a child confidence like that? Why would you do that? Now, that's gonna sting. Yeah. Now he feel it. And they said by the age of 3, children can tell that there's a difference between them and all the other cultures. You understand? Other ethnicities. Like it's inherent to us. Okay. And how do we know that? Because we read the scripture, and the scripture tell us that there are 2 manner of people. You understand? Okay. So when they first started taking steps, our babies don't walk like their babies. Right. Our babies don't. Why do we have those songs on the YouTube? What's the thing them kids be watching now? The little one they be doing the dancing, they be singing the songs, and what's the name of it? What's the name of it?
The nursery rhyme?
No, Casey Corner.
Oh, Gracie's Corner.
Gracie's Corner. Why our kids watch that? They got to have a rhythm. They got a bop to it. You know what I'm saying? It's a rhythm. We're very rhythmatic people. You understand? Meaning like we have things that just go together, and they use our skill, man. Mm-hmm. They use our insight on how to raise these children, how to raise their kids, and they mock us.
Now people have taught them how to do it.
Come, Dora the Explorer. They got Dennis the Menace. What else they got? What's Jimmy Neutron run around with guns? All their kids destructive.
All that Home Alone.
Yeah, all their children destructive. You understand? Look at Dennis the Menace. Look.
Yeah, he shot that dude.
Yeah, Jimmy Neutron with the laser beam.
Right. Yep.
What's the other? Yeah, Problem Child. All their kids are destructive. Our kids just want to. Look at Chucky. You understand?
Right.
Look,
right.
They destructo, man. I call them destructo.
Good night.
What's the name one with Buzz Lightyear, Infinity and Beyond? What's that? Toy Story. Look how domineering he was over all the other animals.
Right.
Yeah. White boy. Step back. I got it. And look, Mr. Potato Head was a black man. You see that shit?
He was.
Hell, man.
Oh man, it's a lot. Like, look at this brother. Look at all these devils back there laughing. Now look at this brother. He like you said, it already sting. Now, and towards the end of the video, you're gonna see him start to look around. Like he's looking around.
Right.
He's taking a mental note. Like this is gonna bother him. Everybody's laughing at him. Right. Yeah. They all crouched down and they look at him. Look, the other brother ain't even laughing in the back. I didn't even see him. He not even laughing. Look at all the white kids laughing. This brother looking around. Yeah, she did. That brother looking around, man. And the other brother, the other baby had his head laid down on the table. He wasn't even laughing. He didn't even find it funny. That's insane, man. But this is what we have to go through. You understand? And now that she done did this, I think this brother said he was 6 in the video. Now she done did this to this baby. You understand? Imagine how if he don't have constructive parents at home that can build him up. You understand? Parents that give a damn about him and went to that school and spoke to that teacher and the principal. You understand? Imagine how this could destroy him. Because he's at an age where he's going to remember this. He is. And And she did it in front of his classmates, his peers. He's going to go from grade to grade with these same people. And that teacher did that. So imagine what these evil, wicked bastards gonna feel like they can say to this brother.
I wonder if you was a teacher and you sang a song that talked about Dylan Ruth, calling him, "You look like Dylan."
Right.
You and your feelings. You'll be out of there the next day.
Good night.
Huh?
Yeah.
You call him Dylan Ruth. You Dylan Ruth. Come here, Dylan. That's not my name. As it is today.
You gonna be out there real. You ain't even gonna finish the work day. You're not gonna finish the work day. You understand? We're gonna jump over to this 10 Wise. I think I put it on timestamp. I put it on the timestamp already. So it's like 3 of them. So we're gonna start right there. Try to get through them real quick. Now, this right here, this Tim Wise guy, you understand? He talk about racism. He go around the country to different schools and stuff like that. And he talk about racism and the history. You understand what he said? It's like, oh, right. Good night. Oh man. Yeah, so this devil travel around and he talk about like racism, you understand, to his Caucasian peers. You understand? And he basically telling them about what their history is and how they can't erase it and how they need to own it and all this and that good stuff. If you don't mind, Buck, y'all.
Salakia.
Just happen, that they're the result of certain policies. Because here's what's interesting about that area that we now like to call the ghetto. The reality is the ghetto was created, and public housing in particular was created not for poor black people. It was created for poor white people. And in fact, for the first several years of public housing, people of color couldn't even get into public housing projects. They were essentially segregated by race. Only poor white folks could even live there. And then what happened is the government created some new programs under the FHA program, the VA loan program, later on the GI Bill program, which allowed those same white folks who had been poor and struggling to leave public housing and to leave urban areas and to hustle it out to the suburbs where only we could live, or to the smaller towns where only we were going to be welcome. So what's interesting is that the hood became the hood because
fair use. Salakia, fair use. Salakia.
Okay. Mosiah Christ. So basically what he's saying right now, he explaining like how like we were saying earlier. See, this is what I love about this truth. You understand? How it was nothing but rich white people and poor people. You understand? And he explaining how all the redlining, because he said that he was riding in a car and his I think he said his 10-year-old daughter asked him, Daddy, why in this neighborhood you see nothing but black people and it's torn down? And so he was explaining to her because he said the other daughter was like, oh, because of redlining. And he was explaining to her what redlining was, but people in the university didn't even know what the hell redlining was. So he had to explain to them what it was and how you get this, I guess, what do you say, a totem pole of rich, middle class, and poor. You understand? He explained it to them how you get that and how knowing the history of how you got there, you understand, helps you understand why things are the way they are, that they didn't just happen. So like
I'm gonna continue.
Oh, come on.
because only people of color now were allowed to live there. White folks were literally being subsidized by the government to move to the suburbs. The white middle class, and make note of this, was built by government. Government programs that underwrote those loans because those families could not have afforded a loan otherwise. They were able to get one because the government underwrote the loan and guaranteed the loan in case of default, but only for people of color. Only for white folks. People of color, by and large, couldn't get in on any of that.
What's so crazy about that is, like, now, think about how they treat you now. You understand? Like, when, like Commander V. Hunter say, the Caucasian man was the first one on welfare. They was the first ones that needed the government housing. Right. You understand? Blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians. I remember growing up, it was like so my grandma had 7 kids. You understand? And growing up, like it was like 6 of her 7 kids was all in one house with her grandkids. We all was in one house. You understand? Because my mom and them couldn't get government housing. You understand? It was like they couldn't get the food stamps and all this and that. So everybody lived in the house. The Hispanics still practice this culture practice today. Right. They still do this today. You understand? They all get in one house. You understand? They all feed. Right. Right. They pulling together the resources, the water. You understand? They all coming together under one roof. They eat together. They bring all their money into one household together. It's like,
so like if I may, it's an extended family,
right?
Household, not like a nuclear family where it's just the father, the mother, and the children.
Right.
You have grandparents. You might have an uncle, an aunt, cousins living in an extended family household. So like,
no, you absolutely correct. And the water, you understand? But the thing that Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, the thing that we don't know is it's going back to that.
That's right.
That's going to happen again. You understand? When the Lord said for us to gather ourselves together, he meant for us to gather ourselves together. You understand? It's going to come a time where you're going to have to stay together in the same roof. You're going to probably have to stay together in the same goddamn school. You understand? You're going to have to stay together, man. Because, like, the way this devil moving, you understand? He gonna take up all the housing. You understand? Donald Trump already moving towards he moving like he trying to start a civil war. You understand? And if he do that, that's forcing Blacks, Hispanics. We gonna have to come together.
That's right.
You understand? You gonna have to start opening your home up to some of these brothers and sisters. You understand?
Right.
Like, and you ain't gonna have to question because everybody gonna have to defend for each other. You ain't gonna have to question it. The Lord is forcing us to come together because we won't do it ourselves, man. You understand? It take this devil, you understand, put his foot on our neck to force us to come together. And the Lord is allowing it to happen. You understand? So what Tim Wise is talking about is how the government forged. He literally, like, think about this. The government is 99% Caucasian men. 99% Caucasian men. You understand? You don't think that they see the struggles of their own people? You think they just gonna let their people suffer and they ain't gonna do nothing? Hell no. That's why they went. They didn't want. They hated they people being poor beside Black people so much that they created a middle class. They created, like he said, the VA loan and the GI Bill. And the FHA, you understand? You walk downtown Fayetteville right now, you see Black veterans, you understand, walking up and down Fayetteville with nowhere to go, no housing, you understand? And you ask them their story, I guarantee you over half of them will tell you that they was in Esau military. Over half of them will tell you that. And then it was one devil that was out walking up and down the street, you understand? He chose to walk the streets because he didn't want to take over his family business. That's in Fayetteville. So like it.
No, so like if I may, I just think back to when we were in the land of Goshen, you know, with respect to Joseph, and you know, us being in the land of Goshen was to separate us from the Egyptians.
Right.
And when we were able and allowed to, you know, establish ourselves in our own separate land, we started to thrive.
Right.
You know, Commander YAHANNA was talking about all the different, you know, towns and cities that got demolished and destroyed at the hands of the oppressor. When we started to establish ourselves, you think about Tulsa, Oklahoma, you think about Rosewood, you think about Black Wall Street, you know, and it's like, man, this is history has a tendency of repeating itself. This is why it's so important for us to, like you said, gather ourselves together.
See, what's so heavy about what you're saying is that the Lord said that The things that were written aforetime were written for our learning.
That's right.
You understand? We don't want to open the Bible. We listen to the pastor tell us what the Bible say. You understand? He give you the watered down, Christian version of what the Bible says. You understand? God loves everybody, right? You understand? He gives you the watered down version that keeps you sleep in this place, man.
Right.
You understand? When your history really lies in this book, this is your history. You understand? The only way history could repeat itself is if you don't know the history.
That's right.
And that's what this devil is telling. That's what this devil is telling other devils in this university, Stetson University. He's telling these devils that they have to know their history, man. The history that they try to cover up. Now, some people will look at him like, "Oh, this is a good white man." Nah, hell nah. You still ain't good in my eyes. You understand? You still a devil at the end of the day.
That's right.
And he tell you towards the end of the video that he love white people. He tell you that at the end of the video, even though he's sitting up here saying all this about black people and stuff like that, but he tell you still at the end of the day, that devil's still a devil. He gonna tell you that he still love his skin and his people. So like jump down to the 52-minute mark. We about to, yeah, right in there. That should be good.
Movement is necessary and why it's righteous. If you knew that history, but you don't know it, and it's not your fault. You weren't supposed to know it, and nobody taught it to you, right?
Look at it. Look, he telling Caucasian people they weren't supposed to know their history, and nobody taught it to them. And now what is Donald Trump doing? Because the way that you keep this oppressive racist system going is by erasing that history. You understand? Because they being raised and taught that it's okay to not like black people and hate black people. You understand? Now imagine you raising your children to be racist, but you erasing the history of their racism and what it did to other people as they go. It's crazy. Jeez Louise. It does make it stronger because you ain't seeing the effects of other people that right. You ain't seeing the effects that it had on other people when you did it before. So you getting rid of it, you starting anew. So now that's making America great again. Right. A renewed hatred. So like that's what Donald Trump mean when he say make America great again. Let's get rid of the history and start new.
That's right.
You understand? Because we way more powerful than we are than we were back then. So like you
think no, you do too
well.
Continue.
We can jump forward to the hour mark. I know you said a lot more than that, but it's all good. Yeah, about right in there.
In school either, because our history books aren't interested in telling the truth. They tell this very patriotic history that has no relation.
This devil said that they history books ain't they not interested in telling the truth. You understand? When your oppressor give you the scriptures, what is the scripture? Never trust thine enemy. You understand? This devil, Ecclesiasticus 12:10. This devil, he don't want to tell you the truth. He don't want you to know the truth. You understand? Because you know what they know? They know that if blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, like, see, when black people say, "Oh, I don't fool with 12, I don't fool with 12, I don't really like white people like that," we say things like that, but we don't know why we say it. You understand? Because we don't know, like, or we ignore, like, we know, but we don't know to the extent of how wrong they treated blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. We don't know to the extent of how much they unalived us and what they continue to do to us to this day, man. You understand? So when people be like, "Oh, I don't like 12 and all this and that," okay, it's cool that you don't like them, but you should know the reason as to why you don't like them. You understand? You don't like them because when you talk about the police and you tie that to slavery, you understand? You will understand why black people don't like the police, because in slavery, rich white men hired poor white men to oversee enslaved black people. The rich man was not there enforcing what would you call it? His wrath upon his slaves. He hired the poor white man to do that. The Irish in particular, you understand? The same way today, the rich white man, you understand, pays the police or hires the police to oversee the so-called black criminals in America. You understand? That's why they don't police white neighborhoods the same way they police black neighborhoods, because they're not worried about the white man. They worried about black people. But if you don't know the history of how the police started and why you should not like the police, you understand, or why you should not like political figures in government as a whole, if you don't know the history of it, guess what? You'll run to the voting booth. You'll be like, oh, well, we got this black sheriff. He said he gonna do this and that and the other. And then guess what? You get a black sheriff or black mayor, you understand? These black governors, and what? The people in their city still get unalived. But then you get a mayor that turns around the city, and we talking about Maryland, turn around a city, the crime dropped because he started listening to the people committing the crimes. The white man come above him like, no, hell no. Nah. We send in the National Guard.
Right.
So like, he said what?
No, as far as the whole Tyree Nichols situation, you know, with us buying into the idea that we can join the oppressive system,
right,
and you know, join the oppressor's police system, and you get Tyree Nichols, nothing but Omegas who literally take on the customs of the Greeks. And they hate everything about what we stand for as being Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian.
They hate black people.
And they hate themselves.
They do hate themselves.
You know,
and that's why you're right, because that's why they were able to beat their brother into unaliving, and then the Caucasian man to further push the hatred and anger of black people, he let them walk. Because think about it, in our mind, we see black men who committed a crime against another black man. You understand? And they know that. But in their eyes, or what they tried to push was, in that instance, they weren't black. They were blue. And we stand with blue. So
that's almost like with Django Unchained, you know.
Right.
When we decide to join the oppressor, we take on the spirit of Stephen. You know, it's our house. You know what I'm saying? And we see a nigga that's a brother that's free, and we hate him instantly.
Yeah.
We disassociate, you know, from our identity, and we take on the customs, traditions, identity of our oppressor, and we hate who we are. You know, Salakia.
No, you too. Oh, Salakia, go ahead.
If I may, real quick, let's have y'all saying that. I don't know if y'all seen with Captain Asha them out there in Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic. The mayor pulled a gun out on them and shot it in the sky while we fishing for our people. So that's the same example of what you talking about. You so mad of us coming up against this oppressor of this beast of this system that you trying to be just like him, but we ain't doing nothing. That we just reading the Bible with a microphone.
Nigga, we trying to help you.
That's it. So
like if you really think about it, Commander YAHANNA is helping everybody.
That's right.
You understand? He's saving the lives of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You understand? And he helping the government keep crime off the streets. He putting fathers back in black households. You understand? He telling brothers to stop unaliving brothers. Don't harm the oppressor. Don't sleep with his daughter. Like Commander YAHANNA is doing a lot more for these devils than they actually think.
Right.
By telling black people, you understand, who they are and how they should act, and telling us like, nah, y'all ain't animals, man. You're not animals. You can't act like this. You understand? By him telling us who we are, giving us our history, and putting us in these classes, sending us out on the streets, feeding our people and clothing our people, and giving them some type of a refuge. or safe haven. You understand? When they have nothing in this place, he's helping these devils. But that's crazy. Like, so you just don't like your people that much, huh? Let me see. Oh, go ahead. So like,
Khan, it's the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 12, verse 10. Never trust thine enemy. For like as iron rusted, so is his wickedness.
You understand? You can't trust these devils, man. You understand? They wickedness is gonna come out one way or another. You have a goddamn iron wrench long enough, it's gonna begin to rust. No matter how good you take care of it, at some point the rust gonna start to show. You understand? Whether you leave it outside in the rain or you put it in the toolbox, the rust gonna come one way or another. It's inevitable. You understand? The same way these devils cannot hide their wickedness, man. You understand? They could try all they want to. They can act like they love you all they want to, but at some point it just has to show. This devil sat here for over an hour talking about white history and how they wrong black and Hispanic people. You understand? But still, at the end, he still had to say, "I love my people."
Right.
So despite everything he said or whatever ways he made them feel, he couldn't let his people leave that room thinking that he stood with you. I had another one, but I'm gonna let that.
You sure?
Yeah.
You can find it now. We in here.
Let me see. It's this one.
One second.
This one is crazy. I'm pretty sure y'all probably done seen this one. That one is crazy, man. You understand? Like, but these devils, like you can't get them an inch of your trust, man. You cannot. Like, you right, sis. Damn right. Most High in Christ for to Commander YAHANNA, man.
Damn right.
Father to the Most High Christ. You know what I'm saying?
So, like, what she say? It's just, Most High in Christ. Are you ready for the video?
Yep.
And 1 million whites have left New York City. The black and Hispanic population has grown by almost 1 million, and it's still growing.
This is Rosedale, a community of 6,000 families in the far southeastern pocket of the borough of Queens. To the passing eye, it seems quiet, modest 1- and 2-family homes with fenced-in lawns and tree-shaded streets. The people who live here are almost all white.
We fast forward through that, yeah.
It's fair use. Fair use.
Right. Fast forward. Now listen to these devils. Listen to these devils. It's my niggas go to hell. Salakia. You understand? Now, let's see who they talking to. Oh, Salakia. Right here. This is what we decide ourselves too, man.
And Salaki, my point, I want to see their children run by.
Oh, come on.
Because they'll tell us that if our children are a product of our environment, then what would their children be?
Right.
You understand?
Come on.
Their children have to be also a product of their environment as well.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So if you foster that type of separation, you know what I'm saying, towards us.
Right.
But if you're the one, these are the people that are in charge of our safety.
Right.
These are the future teachers of our children. Yep. That's your bus driver, right? You know, somebody driving somebody's kids to school, right? That's somebody that's gonna be serving your food. You're gonna go into that diner and gonna sit down and gonna request your chicken sandwich.
Right.
And they're gonna write black monkey on the receipt.
That's that devil that just told that brother he looked like a monkey.
Yeah, that's them. That's
future police officers
Yeah.
and ICE agents, right there.
but then you starve out our resources, the things we're supposed to receive, because you put a cap on it. That's too much.
Right.
That way you make sure that you maintain the status quo. That's designed. You're brought here to be the permanent underclass in this empire.
Damn right.
Salaki.
Nah, damn right. You understand? And what's heavy is like they don't get nothing to black people till it's all gone, and then it's just the worst of it that's left. That's when you get some. But now we seen all them devils, grown men and their kids and everything else. We seen what they were doing. We seen them all marching and chanting, Negroes go to hell and all this and that, right? Now what? Teenagers, look at them. Look. This is how they see my children. The hell you mean for the neighborhood for? Look, they throwing rocks. You seen the rocks flying over her head? See the rocks flying over her head? They were throwing rocks. Look at them, they still throwing rocks. Somebody crying. Look at that baby. Look at that baby.
We were riding down this block, and these white people start saying, "Get out of here, niggas."
You understand? Like y'all can it's a little short video if you want to watch it. You know what I'm saying? You can look it up and watch it. You understand? But these are the things like you should let your kids see this. Right. You understand? And don't feel bad if your child see this. You understand? And you have to explain to them what's going on. They should know what the hell is going on. They should know who sits next to them in a classroom. You understand? They should know who walks into that classroom and teach them. They should know who put on a uniform and say that he's serving America, that he's going to protect and serve them. You understand? They should know that these are the evil and wicked bastards that we decide to put our love in, man. And then maybe we can protect our kids and do our kids a justice by keeping them alive if they knew who the goddamn devil was, man. You understand? Our kids don't know who the devil is. Our sisters and brothers don't know who the devil is. You understand? They should all see this video. You understand? You couldn't watch this video and not get outraged because you got grown men and women and their children throwing rocks at brothers and sisters, man. At kids, man. At kids. And they think we crazy because we tell our kids they ain't going on a field trip with the little white teacher and the white boys. They think we crazy because we tell our kids, you understand, that they the devil the Bible speaks of. Come on, man. And this is 1976, man. Well, he said, I think he said 1960. No, it say 1976. We in 2025. This is 1976. What is that, like some 40, some 50 some odd years ago? That's not that long, man. You understand? It's like Al-Azam was saying, these are your police officers. These brothers and sisters that this happened to, that's somebody's mother right now. Somebody's father, man. And I would hate to say it, like some of them kids that you probably see through this video, you understand? One of them devils probably unalive one of these kids at some point. It's time we wake the hell up, man, and realize that we have to come together, and in coming together, we have to separate, man. And with that, I'm gonna pass the class to Precinct Officer Cordon.
Yeah, right.
Security announcers, we're the I.S.U.P.K, start out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, operating under the leadership of Commander General YAHANNA. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother and sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 months period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers 18 and 21. Malachi 3, 8 through 10 mean tenth in the Hebrew, ma'ashra. 10% of every penny of any increase the Most High gives you. Give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming Holy Convocation, we are in the Feast of Tabernacles, which we will be having the closing on Monday the 13th at sundown. You understand? So, you know, we're supposed to eat over 8 days, and then we'll come back and we'll feast the last day together. If anyone, then we got the last cookout is in Texas. If I'm not mistaken, get your affairs in order, man. You understand? October the 30th through the 2nd, November the 2nd, man. It's tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then y'all already know what's next. The Passover. You understand? We waiting to see where it's gonna be at. You understand? But get your affairs in order, man. Give it to your camp leaders, man. You understand? If anyone wants to be a troop in the school, to start wearing all boots, black shirts, pants, headband, and scarf, and with that, I mod them just the brothers. Men of Israel, we're gonna run one courteous salute to the teacher, men of Israel, my Shabbat, I Majim, Barak, Yahweh, Shimei, Abishah, Brakatah. Yahya Matah, sorry, man, the term. Sisters, I Majim, men and Stan. Men of Israel, we're gonna run one courteous salute to the sisters, men of Israel, my Shabbat, I Majim, Barak, Yahweh, Shemal, Ataba, Shimei, Abishah. Yahya Matah, class dismissed.
Brother, that video is making me so mad. I can't even watch the whole thing.